Upgrades.
Hey, it's Jorge with Team JVS giving you a quick exclusive review of Venom: The Last Dance. Now, the synopsis of this movie is, in Venom: The Last Dance, Tom Hardy returns as Venom, one of Marvel's greatest and most complex characters. For the final film in this trilogy, Eddie and Venom are on the run. Hunted by both their worlds, and with the net closing in, the duo are forced into a devastating decision that will bring the curtains down on Venom and Eddie's last dance. This movie was interesting. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. So this movie does introduce new characters who, one character that they introduce, they really don't introduce, and unless you're a comic book person, you'll have no idea who it is. Because I'll be honest with you, I was not 100% sure. I had to Google this. So that was a little interesting, especially giving, that person an end credit scene and all that. But overall, this movie was unique. And maybe it's because I wasn't expecting much from the Venom franchise. I will say it was, from a funny point of view, it was neat seeing so many stars from Ted Lasso in this movie. I don't know why. That made me chuckle, made me happy. But Tom Hardy as Venom, I just feel they had like the right actor to play Venom. They just didn't have the right rating and the right storyline for a true Venom movie to just be good and conclude it the way that they should have. I think for me, one of the key things is there's parts in this movie that don't make a lot of sense in the big scheme of things. So for example, halfway through this movie, you kind of see that Venom has a special thing to him, to not spoil it, that things from his planet can see. But it makes you wonder, why weren't any of these things activated beforehand, like in the first two movies? And then you see random stuff like there's a part of the movie where you get introduced to this family, which is somewhat hilarious, the way everything happens and going through the movie, but you start seeing that, like, it's almost like they needed to have this family to make, like, the third act kind of mean something and worthwhile, basically, which I thought was just very unnecessary and kind of just, like, poor writing in that regards. I think that in terms of music and everything, like, there was a lot of good music and the score to this was good. There was also a random dance scene in this movie, which it's just unique. Like, there were certain things taken in this movie that just make you scratch your head and go, why? Like, why? And I don't know if they were trying to not take themselves as serious and go more like the Deadpool route with some of the jokes or something, but this movie just felt, in a weird way, just forced and flat. I was not entertained throughout this movie. There were some parts that it's like, yes, super cool, super exciting, very neat action scenes, but then there were other parts in this movie that you're just scratching your head. And then I think for me, one of the more interesting parts of this whole movie is the movie ended, and this movie is extremely short. I think it was like an hour and a half long, maybe. But it's short, but you get out and it's confusing because it felt long, but it was only an hour and a half. And you're kind of shocked at how quickly the movie ended. And it's interesting because you kind of see this and you almost, I don't want to say you feel bad for the movie, but it's like you feel bad for the character on like what could have been. Like what could have a true Venom movie, how could it have been done? Um I do wonder, and obviously I know like there's the whole who owns the right to Venom and all that fun stuff. But I wonder if this will almost end up being, in a weird way, almost like a quasi Hulk movie where you start getting different Hulks and maybe you'll get a different Venom introduced, you know, in the upcoming Marvel movies and see how that works out. But this one was just unnecessary in a weird way. Um and it sucks because you know you look at the character list that are in it. Like Tom Hardy is a great actor. I loved when he was selected for Venom. I loved it, and I had so much hope. Um, but yeah, this one just kind of, like I said, just kind of ended flat for me overall. Like just thinking about how I would grade this, like this is just probably like a 5 out of 10. Like, will I tell you to run out and watch this in the theaters? Not a chance. Um, you know, once it comes out to streaming services, definitely go watch it. Um, it was just disappointing that this is how they ended this trilogy. I think they could have done so much more with it, and they just could have done so much more. And I think that's the part where I'm a little gut punched with it because like it's Venom, like Venom. You know it was just a little disappointing. But yeah, but other than that, let me know if you guys saw it. Let me know what you guys thought. Um, do you guys think this was a proper send off for Venom? Like, do you think this is a proper conclusion to this story arc? You know, these three movies. Because I do wonder how this will be viewed. You know, while from now. You know, a couple years from now. But yeah, for now, for me, this was just a meh. This was a 5. Nothing spectacular. But let me know what you guys think. As always, this is Jorge with Team JVS, and we'll see you next time. Peace.